So the lady boss won't be joining us today. She had some things to do. And I promise I won't waste much of our time today. Today is Sunday. I know that we really want to spend some time with our loved one because before the new week starts. So it's going to be a very, very brief weekly analysis. Of course, we'll be looking at the dollar index, the DXY. Reason being that the DXY helps us to know how far or how strong the dollar is, coupled with the fact of what happened the last week, America bombing Iran and Iran bombing two ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So we have to be analyzing everything today. And that day that thing happened, we saw the surge in the market. We saw a very huge decline on gold and a very good rally on the dollar pairs. But that movement didn't really hold. We started seeing some rebounds on gold, rebound for the buys on gold. But going into this week, fundamentally, let's see how it's going to play out because the war, there is no ceasefire again. There is no ceasefire again. So we'll keep seeing an increase in the dollar and also a decline on Euro USD and of course XAU USD. So right now we'll be heading over to the dollar index to see what we have on the dollar index. So looking over here on the dollar index, still with the same analysis we did a couple of weeks ago, we're still respecting structure to the upside, breaking structure to the upside. So now, previously, I was expecting, price to retrace, to give us a deep retrace into this zone, into the zone. But now I will have a double bias because of what happened last week. Because of what happened last week. And also looking at the charts, we can clearly see that price is really, really reacting, showing a very strong momentum to keep pushing price higher. Now, looking at this place, we can clearly see that price is still respecting this weekly fair value gap, right? Price is still respecting this weekly fair value gap for how many days now? One, two, three, four, five, six. For over 1 week now, price have been respecting this daily fair value gap. And coupled with the fact that there is a bombing between Iran and the US, now dollar is going to skyrocket, oil is going to skyrocket. So I'm looking at this fair value gap is going to hold price because of what happened last week. It's going to hold price because of what happened last week. So going into the 4 hour time frame, sorry, the 1 hour time frame, going into the 1 hour time frame, I would like to see a clean break of structure. Maintaining that break of structure now is what will give me that confidence or that confluence that yes, dollar will keep pushing higher. I want to see we have this visible low here. We have this low. We have this low. We have this high. We have the lower low, right? We have the lower high, and of course we have this lower low right over here. So what I want to see as market opens in the next couple of hours, what I want to see as the market opens in the next couple of hours, I want to see a break of this structure over here. I want to see a valid break of this structure over here. Now, this structure is what confirms that this daily fair value gap. This structure is what is going to confirm that the daily fair value gap is going to hold price, for us to keep seeing dollar rallying to the upside while other pairs, Euro USD, GBP USD, and XAU USD will keep decreasing because of the bombing that happened last week. All right. So this week on the dollar, I'll be looking at to see a break of this structure. I need to see something like this happen. I need to see something like this happen and a retracement. into our OTE level before we see the continuation of the rally. Are you guys with me? Before we see a continuation of the rally. All right. Now let's quickly take a look at Euro USD before we go over to gold. Euro USD before we go over to gold. Now let's remember that Euro USD and of course the dollar index, the both are inversely correlated, right? If we are seeing series of higher highs and higher lows on the dollar index, we should be seeing the opposite direction on gold. We should be seeing series of lower highs and lower lows. Um, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Wally. So over here on Euro USD, over here on Euro USD, the same thing I'm expecting on the dollar index. I want to see the inverse here on Euro USD. And of course, if by any chance price start rebounding on Euro USD and start reversing on the dollar index, that means I want to see a deep retracement into this zone. I want to see a deep retracement into the zone. So technically, which means that we have 2 points of interest we're looking at going into this week on both pairs, the DXY and Euro USD, right? Now, here on Euro USD, still respecting, although we've closed, okay, this is invalidated, right? This is invalidated. So we are left with this institutional candle here. I left this institutional candle here, which for a couple of days now, price have been respecting the zone very, very well. While on the DXY, price is respecting the daily fair value gap, and here on Euro USD, price is respecting this institutional candle. But if by any means, at the open of the market in the next couple of hours, if the zone fail to hold price, if the zone failed to hold price, which is likely to happen, although what happened last week, but let's just see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. But this is our first point of interest here, while this is our second. The daily fair value gap is our second point of interest. Okay, so dropping down on the 1 hour time frame, a shift in structure in the 1 hour time frame. I think that's have already happened here. I think that has already happened here. That has already happened here with this. So I want to see a deep retracement. This is going to serve as an inducement. This is going to serve as an inducement to trap early sellers. Going to serve as an inducement for price finally coming up into our OTE. So where do we have our OTE? We have our OTE level at 0.705. This is our OTE. Do we have anything aligning with our OTE? Yes, there is this fair value gap here. There is this fair value gap here. So while we're going into this week, let's remember dollar is still bullish on the dollar if the daily fair value gap is going to hold price. If this daily fair value gap is going to hold price. But if it doesn't hold price, that means we should expect a deep retracement into this level. We should expect a deep retracement into this level. And on Euro USD again, if this institutional price fails to hold, this institutional candle fails to hold price, that means you should expect a deep retracement into this guy here, into our daily fair value gap. Now let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look at gold. Well, for gold here, now this is a bit skeptical, right? Because this guy, this high here, this high here is going to serve as an inducement. That is if this zone fails to hold price. If this zone fails to hold price, there is no fair value gap here, just our order block. Just our order block. So I'll be expecting a sweep of this high, a sweep of this high for me to continue looking for shorts on gold. For me to continue looking for shorts on gold. So I'll just have to be on the sideline, looking at all these pairs from today, tomorrow. I'll just have to be by the sideline and just observe instead of just rushing to trade the market. I just have to be on the sideline just to observe what is actually happening to see if I can get a clear price action, a clear price action on any of these pairs, the dollar index, Euro USD, and XAU USD. And of course, we cannot rely only on the technical analysis, right? We need to know what the fundamentals are saying because the fundamentals are the main driver of the market. The fundamentals are the main driver of the market. So let's head over to the Forex Factory and see what we should expect coming into this week. Oh, there's a whole lot of red folders from Monday to Wednesday, from Tuesday to Wednesday. On Monday, there is no news coming out in any of the pairs you're trading. Then on Tuesday, around 9:45 a.m., we have the Bank of England governor is speaking, which is a very high impact news for the pound. And around 1:30 p.m., we have the CPI. So that is one thing I'm waiting for, right? Because we don't have any clear price action on the chart right now, no clean price action. So basically, the CPI is going to engineer liquidity in the market. It's going to engineer liquidity in the market for us to get a clean price action, right? Which means Monday is off for me, Tuesday until after 1:30 is off for me. So I need to see how the CPI is going to play out to know, then I'll know the next thing to do. And around 3 p.m. again, Fed Chair was testified for the USD. Around 9 p.m., Bank of England, the governor of Bank of England is speaking again. And on Wednesday, 15th July, core PPI. This is another high impact news coming out for the dollar on Wednesday, 3 p.m. The Fed chairman was also testified. On Thursday, there is no high impact news on the dollar except for the pounds. Then on Friday, no high impact news. So basically, for me right now, I'll just have to be on the sideline until after the CPI, before I do anything on the charts, before I do anything on the charts. Okay. So with the CPI coming, I'm by the sideline. Although we've seen the technicals, we have 2 points of interest on the technicals. We have the daily fair value gap that's for the DXY, and also we have two daily fair value gaps. One which price is currently reacting to. That is to say, if we'll be looking at the second point of interest, if this guy fails to hold price, that means we need a deep retracement into the zone. But let's see if CPI is going to do that for us. Let's see if CPI is going to do that for us. Okay. So please, if you have any question, kindly ask your question now before we call it a day. We have any question? in the absence of no other question, please let's remember that our free class is still going on for the month of July. You can come over to the office tomorrow if you're in Abuja. Our office is located at Rock of Ages Mall, Utaku. Whenever you get there, you can just give me a call. You can call the lady voice to come and pick you up. The days for the classes are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, both online and physical. Okay? So see you guys in class tomorrow by 11 a.m. Good night, everyone. Welcome. Welcome.